Thank you, Dr. Matheson. It is my very, very great pleasure and honor to introduce an extraordinary Canadian to this afternoon's convocation. Born in Vienna in 1924, Eli Kassner pursued classical guitar studies in Austria, Palestine, Israel, the United States, and Spain, where he studied with the legendary Andres Segovia. Immigrating to Canada following the war, he became a naturalized Canadian citizen in 1956. Professor Kassner subsequently enjoyed a long and distinguished teaching career at a number of Canada's leading music schools, including the Royal Conservatory of Music, Queen's University, and the University of Toronto, where he established an international reputation as both a leading classical guitar pedagogue and a pioneering arts advocate. Founder, president, artistic director, and driving force behind the Eli Kassner Guitar Academy and the Guitar Society of Canada, Professor Kassner was appointed Lifetime Artistic Director Emeritus of the Society in 2009. It is often said of Eli Kassner that he virtually single-handedly created serious guitar study in Canada, if not North America. The importance of his contribution has been cited by some of the greatest classical guitarists of the 20th century, including Julian Bream and Leo Brouwer, whose musical tribute to Eli Kassner we will hear later in today's ceremony, performed by Daniel Bolshoi, who studied with Maestro Kassner following his guitar studies here at Carleton University. Like Celia Franca in the ballet world, and a select few other prominent European artists who settled in Canada after the war, Eli Kassner brought to Canada a dogged determination to elevate the level of the performing arts in this country, and elevate the level he did. His celebrated Guitar Ensemble of Canada was greeted with accolades wherever they performed throughout the world, and his long list of pupils has included some of Canada's most renowned performing artists, including Robert Bauer, Jesse Cook, Leona Boyd, Davis Joachim, Daniel Bolshoi, Norbert Kraft, Gordon O'Brien, and jazz guitarist Carlos Lopez and Rob Pilch. And one of his famous former students is the internationally acclaimed film director Adam Ogoyan. Professor Kassner's contribution to Canadian culture extends beyond his status as this country's preeminent teacher of classical guitar in the 20th century. In the 1970s, he became widely known for his work in microphotography, and he frequently worked as a composer and performer for both the Stratford Festival and CBC Television, where he produced music for a number of award-winning programs such as The Lively Arts and The Nature of Things. Professor Kassner is also an award-winning filmmaker. In 1975, he received both the Bell Northern Prize and the Monaco Award for his short film, The First Inch. Madam Vice-Chancellor, in recognition of his outstanding contributions to the performing arts and to the cultural fabric of Canadian society, I ask that you confer the degree of Doctor of Music, honoris causa, upon Professor Eli Kassner in absentia.
Thank you very much. That was a wonderful citation, Professor Wright. I am almost going to do what was asked of me, but not quite. In absentia doesn't mean the person is really absent. Eli Kassner is with us today. He's watching right now on his computer stream, and he filmed with our staff his reception speech. So he is here with us to receive the degree, but just not in flesh and blood. He's here technologically. So I would like to have the pleasure and privilege of awarding to Dr. Kassner the degree of Doctor of Music honoris causa with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto pertaining. And I would like to ask all of you to join me in applauding him and watching him on the screen. Thank you.
I would like to thank Carleton University for bestowing this great honor upon me. To be named an honorary doctor of music by the university means a lot to me because it means a lot to the world of guitar. When I came into Canada, into Toronto, there was no guitar in Toronto, there was no guitar, not very much guitar in the whole of Canada. Eventually, I was succeeded in convincing the university and the conservatory to, in fact, recognize the guitar as a legitimate instrument, because the general thought was that the guitar is only good for accompaniment and mostly for cowboy songs. Now, I went out to prove that that is not so. And I played several concerts for the dean of the university, and they invited me to join the Faculty of Music, and that was the first university in Canada to grant a degree for guitar. I met Andres Segovia, who played here in Toronto, and he heard me play, and he invited me to come and study with him in Spain, which of course I did. He was in fact the only guitarist that the whole world knew. Today, there are thousands of classical guitarists from all over the world. All the universities teach it, and it really has become a very important part of the cultural life, the cultural musical life of the world. In 1975, we did our first international guitar festival, which became the biggest guitar festival in the world. We did that 5 times, and a lot of important guitar players that today are the masters got their start at our festivals. And today we're still growing, constantly more and more. Now, for the students out here, out there, the lesson to be learned is that we have to stick to our guns. We must have the vision of knowing where we are going and what we are trying to do, and then do it. Because nothing happens by itself. You make it happen, and that's very, very important for us to realize. If any of you out there are composers, compose for the guitar, and we'll have the players now who will play it all over the world, not just in Canada, not just in America, but everywhere, in Europe, everywhere. With this vision in mind, I would once again like to thank Carleton University for giving this great honor to me. And it will help to continue the guitar in Canada to grow and all over the world. But it doesn't apply just to the guitar. It has to do with all the instruments, all the disciplines. We have to have a vision, and we have to pursue it. Thank you.